So in this video, we're going to talk about how to read some of these unit cards, and it isn't so much giving you information about what each thing means here, it's just where do you find the information. So in the corner, you get which nationality they are. So we got the Soviets and this is USA. We got the name of the unit, which would be like these are T-72s, these are M1 Abrams, this is the mech platoon, and the BMP-2 Motor Rifle Company. They do also have like Red Banner you'll see here and Team Yankee down here, and that means if it's like Red Banner, you would use the Red Banner tank division to figure out your force and how to build it. And we'll talk about how to build in a video we've got coming up about that. But since they've come out with like the Afghanistan, this isn't as important as it used to be.
Correct, because I'm having a feeling that as more formations come out, which we'll get into later, it will use older unit cards.
So yeah, you kind of can skip that, but it is a tank company. Tank platoon, if you know about Soviets and how they name it, this is actually a platoon. And then that says Red Banner, and this says Team Yankee. And down below, we have what type of unit it is. So tank unit or an infantry. We also have
The special rules?
Yeah, like helicopter, and there's also the strike aircraft.
Yes.
And then, yes, just like you said, next to it are these special rules that they have. So, like this one has BDD armor, infrared, and you're like, well, what does that mean? Or, how do you say that? Chobham armor?
I have no idea.
In thermal imaging, you're like, what does that mean? What's nice is on the back of the cards, they explain it. So there's that BD armor and what it means. And what was the other one? Infrared?
Yeah.
Yep, infrared. So there's infrared. And for the USA, we had that whatever armor, Chobham, and thermal imaging, and they're on the back also. So that's a really nice thing. You don't have to look in the book for what these things mean. Underneath that, we've got the courage and how well trained they are. So courage is really just used in two places. That's to cross a minefield, and that special maneuver, which we'll get into movement of, what was it, follow me?
I think so.
Follow me. That's the only time I've seen courage come up. Morale is if you get beaten up, they may want to leave the battlefield. This is to keep them on. Remount, if your vehicle's bailed out, this is to get them back in the tank so they can do things.
And that same spot for the infantry is rally.
Rally, and that's when they're pinned down. You can do rally. Skill, USA has 4, Soviets normally have a 5. That's to be able to do some of those special maneuvers and for infantry to dig their foxholes. Assault basically is if this tank goes in, what do they need to roll to kill infantry? So every 5 that it rolls, these tanks roll, they kill off an infantry unit. Men can assault men, or they can assault a vehicle, and we'll get more into that assault, but they also have an assault number. Counterattack, when we get into assault, we'll get more into what that means, but that's just to keep battling in the assault. Yeah. When the opponent's done, like the USA's done assaulting them, will they come back and attack and assault, or will they leave the assault?
Yeah, or run away, yeah.
Okay, underneath it, we got this 2-hit number. This is what the opponent needs to roll to hit this tank. Men have a here. USA is a little harder to hit. And it may be modified by terrain, concealment, if you go on the ground, which we'll get more into shooting there.
Day or night.
Yep. Underneath that, we've got their armor. So this is their front armor, their side and back armor. Some people wonder where the back armor is. It's the same as side, and the top armor. Infantry don't have an armor. They just have a straight 3-up save, and so do helicopters. And jet aircraft, the strike aircraft. They also don't have armor. They just got like an infantry save. So like it's hit on 3, and if it's hit, it gets to make a 4+ save to not have to worry about being destroyed. Then underneath it, we've got how fast they move. This is just moving to be able to shoot. This is if they're going through terrain, but they're not worried about shooting. This is how far they can move. So you can see the Abrams here moves a little further than the T-72. This is if they're not going through terrain. It's plains, something like that. And we'll get more into movement about that. Road, if they stay on the road, and then crossing is if they go across terrain that may hinder the vehicle, and like a stump. There's a stump there. They're trying to go over a stone wall. They may get hung up on it. What's their chances of getting hung up on it? A 3+, if I roll 3, 4, or 5, 6, okay. 1 or 2, it's bogged down, doesn't get to do anything else that turn. American's nice. They just don't want to roll a 1.
Yep. Of course, for crossing, it gets effective is night. Also, aircraft.
Yep.
Movement.
Yep. And if you look here, unlimited, they go anywhere on the board. Same with the jet aircraft. And they don't have to worry about crossing because they're not scraping the ground.
Yeah.
Men have their own movement rate, but cross, as long as it's not impassable terrain, they don't have to do a check. They don't stub their toe or anything like that. Okay, going on down on these cards, we got the last thing on this side, which is what weapons they can use. And it is kind of color-coded.
I never noticed that.
You can use this weapon or all of these. So if you look at this one, you can shoot this one weapon here or these machine guns. When you get to the men, do you want to shoot that weapon, which has 2 things. You're going to have to do or, you see the or there, or you can do the RPG-7, or if they have a light machine gun, they can shoot that, or if they got the AA missile, they can shoot that. They can't shoot this and that type of thing.
Well, it was on the same base.
Right, yeah.
Infantry's a little different.
Yeah, so like these guys here can shoot their assault rifle, and these guys decide, you know what, we're going to shoot this RPG-7. So it's not that everybody in that whole unit has to shoot the same weapon. It's what do you want this team to shoot? What do you want this team to shoot?
Yes.
With what weapon you want them to shoot with. So that's that side. We talked about the other side, but I'm going to flip them over so you kind of see a little bit more on this side. So we've got over here again, special rules, so you don't have to look in the book. That is really glary. There we go. So again, what's on the front is on the back, and plus maybe some other special rules they may have. Try not to get the glare too bad. Over on this side is how much does it cost to put these into the game. I'm not going to go too much into it. Normally you play a 100-point game and there's a organization chart, but if I want 3 of these T-72s, it's going to cost me 12 points out of that 100 points. If I want to run 4 of them, it's 17. 5 of them, 22. And you can see so forth. I could put 10, but it's going to be 47 points out of like that 100. This is the Americans, so they can run 2 Abrams for 16 points. And they're like, whoa, hold on. But you get 4 of these, it works out. 1 Abrams is worth about 2 of those.
About.
Yeah. So that's how you figure out the points. These 2 are a little different because you can go smaller amount of men and not as many vehicles, or more men and more vehicles. And you can see Soviets, you have even more choices.
As well as the U.S. infantry has an option for other things.
Yes.
Like for another Dragon.
The other thing I want to bring up is, and that would be like, let me take these off. So we have like this hind here. Another one would be, well, I could have kept the USA one out here. This mech platoon. They're going to have attachments to them. So this can have a transport attachment, which is going to be the M113. If I get my, here they are. So, and this is a tank attachment. So when you buy these men, you also will get this attachment vehicle. And we'll go more into attachments later in another video. Same with the... So the Soviets the same way. Here's the BMP-2 Motor Rifle Company. How many men do I want, and how many of these transports do I want to attach to them? The other one is like this hind. It's a little different. Where the mech one was attaching vehicles. You start with the men, and then you attach the vehicles to it. This one's a little different. You start with the helicopter, and you can attach men to the helicopter. So this is actually an infantry attachment.
And with the Hinds, it's optional, right?
Yes. Yes. But you can't take these unless you paid for the Hinds.
Yeah.
So you just can't go out and run out and pay for these men alone and have them run around the battlefield. To have these assault landing company infantry, you have to have the helicopter first. And it says it right down here. Your force must contain the Hinds to take these guys. Like when we had your like this one, it's telling you right away you're going to get, like here, you're going to get 4 of the larger stand guys, and you're going to get 3 of the smaller stand guys, and then finally you're going to get 4 of the BMP2s, which here they are, which is this. So this one's a little different. It's telling you exactly how many vehicles you're going to get. With the Hind, it's optional. You want them in. So that's how you read the cards. There's also artillery.
Yeah.
We've gone through the aircraft, so I think that's it. So.
One more thing about the card, and that's the number in the corner.
Oh, you're right. Good call. Yes. Down here in the corner, there's a number. This one says like TS114. This one's got, let's see, right here. It's going to focus. Come on, focus. There we go. TS102. This is very good point. This is a very important to know these, because when we get to how you build your force, let me get this one. It's going to tell you, you're going to have these numbers over here. That's the cards you use. So I'm going to go real quick. So I'm going to go to the HQ. So let me get that out of the way. So here's the HQ, which is here, and it tells you TS101. So you need a TS101 card, and if you look, there it is. And then let's say, I want some of these tanks here. Well, it says go to TS102. So there we go. And is this, oh, there it is, TS102. And it tells me how many points it costs. So that's what these numbers are for, is when you're doing your organization chart here, which we'll get to in another video. That's how you know which card to use. So good point.
Yeah.
All right, so that's all we've got on how to read the unit cards. I don't know why I threw those men out there when we're talking about unit cards. There we go. Oh, where's some USA stuff? There we go. Oh, it's always good to have it upside down too, like that, so you can see the back. So that is this. We will start talking in the next video about how you would build either a Soviet or US force. Say you have 100 points, how can you do that? So until next time, have a good game.
Woohoo!